What's up, my boiii?
From that city with juice, ain't no pity or truces. When we dip and gun smoke's conclusive. Don't act clueless, hella foolish in the 90s. And GP shotgun when we ride. Solid on the yard, name hard on these streets. Did my crimes, gangster rhymes on dope beats. Still fuck laws, ain't no pause in our demeanor. Rest in peace, Muggsy and my road dog creeper. Ways to put it down, no fear of new cases. Years ago, though, it was guns and chases. 714 on my shoulders, kept it active. Roll like soldiers, G-code ain't passive. Still macking ratchet, still packed at the waist. Still stacking racks, still flash when they hate. Now it's podcasts and videos with pretty hoes. Me and George banging orange till the city's known, really though.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. We don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gonna how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know, loco? We making moves all day, all day, all day, all day.
Grew up in the streets of the LB. We don't love these hoes, what they tell me. Packed up and moved to the OC. Me and George ballin' like Shaq and Kobe. Fuck bitches, get money, living wealthy. Bad bitches screaming, let me get a selfie. Big stomps, GP, some real G's. Side dick is the general of an army. XG podcasting in the morning. Don't say F.A., here's your warning. That other bullshit be boring. With some goofy ass question that's corny. Tommy, let me finish my story. Shooting shots, game 6, rubber orange. Smoking blunts in the bus while I'm touring. Now welcome to George Perez Stories.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. We don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gonna how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know, loco? We making moves all day, all day, all day, all day.
Welcome to the George Perez Stories.
What's up, my boy? George Perez right here. George Perez Stories, episode 317. George Perez Stories is brought to you by JB & Sons Tree Service Landscape and Installation. Hey, guys, if you want your grass to look green so the Mormons come back knocking on your door, or if you just want people to feel like, wow, man, that guy really cares about his yard, hit him up. JB's and Sons Tree Service Landscape and Installation. Their Instagram is JMBARRIOS12. JMBARRIOS12. Leave them a message. Tell them George Perez sent you, and you still won't get a discount. But hey, guys, they got the best prices, so you don't even need the discount. They specialize in tree removal, stump removal, irrigation, sprinkler installation, and everything that you need to know. Like, hey, they got brooms too. They got the blowers and all that. Give them a follow. It's episode 317, and you know what, raza? In la casa, my boy right here, we love him. Give it up for Frank Castillo.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Feels good to be back.
Fuck yeah, feels good. Hey, we've been seeing a lot of each other lately, and I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Like, you just got back from Houston, right?
Yeah, I did the riot in Houston, Texas, and I did the secret group. It was a lot of fun, it was a cool little scene.
Yeah, Houston, like you said, is a little muggy right now.
Oh, it felt disgusting. It was just gross. But it is also, like, beautiful. Like, just visually, it's fucking beautiful if it wasn't such a humid fucking asshole.
And then the freeways are, like, vicious, like, high.
Yeah, like, like, you ever look at, like, when you see, like, sci-fi movies and they have, like, futuristic freeways and, like, that's how it feels. Like, you're in Houston, you're like, oh, shit.
Like, what if my fucking radiator breaks?
Yeah, then you're, like, 70 feet high.
Like I think of stupid shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? What if, like, my tires pop right now?
Yeah. And you're just above everything. Yeah, and there's a lot more trees and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything here's all packed together.
But they keep them clean though. When I was in Houston last time, I noticed there wasn't no graffiti.
No. They're real odd about that. A lot of homeless people in like certain parts of Houston, but it was still pretty decent.
Okay. And then we seen each other in Austin, dog.
Yep, for the Cinco de Mayo show. That was amazing. It was with oh my God, I'm so
Edwin
high.
San
Edwin
Juan.
San Juan. Yeah. That was a lot of fun at a Red Band spot, the Sunset Strip. I mean, I loved Austin. That was my second time going back. Your first time?
Yeah, no, that was my first time doing Austin with Rogan's Club open.
Yeah.
Before that, I was there 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
Oh, dog. Like, the first time I went to Austin, it was like COVID just barely was like, hey, like you don't need a mask no more.
Yeah.
You know, but Austin was like,
We haven't needed one.
you don't even need a shirt.
Yeah.
All you need is a bike.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody was at the Vulcan back then.
Yes.
Like
I remember that. Yeah.
But dude, we went this last time and like, you know, it's weird because it's like, it's an honor, dog. A lot of people don't understand. Like, not everybody has done that club yet.
So yeah, that was the other thing is that like me getting in there too. I had not the fear, but it's the apprehension of like, yeah, it feels like you're going back to square one, even though the guy that is booking it is the guy that hired me and passed me.
Exactly.
It still is like okay, but it does feel like you have to reprove yourself, right?
Yeah, and that's dope.
Yeah, and but yeah, I had to showcase again in a sense, but I was ready. You know what I mean? I was just, I was doing stuff. Been going up at the store and stuff, so I had new stuff. Yeah. But still, it was like you could feel the like, oh, okay, you're in the mix with everyone else again.
All right.
How'd you feel what spots did you do?
I showcase as well, and he's the fool that never passed me at the store.
Yeah.
But he also though is the fool, the homie that gave me development spots immediately.
Yeah.
And Adam really took care of me, and like I had to sit back and think and just remember, be like, hey dog, if this fool passes you now, like you're not going to get as good as you want. He's preparing you so you could be good for when it's time to play with these big boys. It's like a different separation of knowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And like I wasn't ready for that class. Dog, when you got passed, it was Rogan, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn, fucking Dave Chappelle on one show.
Yeah.
It's the hardest era ever.
Yeah, it was the craziest. Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yeah, it was. I think it was my class was Laura, Tim, Miss Pat. Yeah, it was just us 4. Laura, Tim, and Miss Pat. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gangster shit right there.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, this fool's, he has a good coyote.
Yeah, because I think he was only going to pass 3, but then I was really on one. I wanted to get past.
Yeah, so, it was kind of scary performing for him, dog, because I was like, damn.
Fuck,
like, all right,
here I am, cool. Dancing for the white man again. No, I'm
you know what it felt like? It was like if I was like on the Mets and fucking the manager got traded, so I was like, damn, this fool's, now they're playing me.
Yeah.
And then I got traded to his team again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what though? He was cool as fuck. He gave me spots. I got to go up twice in the 2 days that I was there.
Yeah.
Just in that club. And I thought that was an honor already.
Yeah.
Because you also want to go catch up with friends, and like it kind of fucked me up. The first day I went, I was so involved of like saying hi to everybody again that like I didn't really focus on my set, and I noticed it. But the next night, dog, I just gave fools dabs. Like,
I'm here to work, dog.
Yeah,
I'm here to
but
work.
hey, homie, after my set,
because
you want to get Well, I don't know. That's how it went for me, and it was dope, dog. I mean, plus like what else I wanted to say is like, I don't know how you outdo what everybody else said about this club. Joey Diaz said the Comedy Store is Aerosmith and the Mothership is Aerosmith on steroids. That's Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It is a kind of a rock and roll sense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, I mean, it is an old rock and roll club. The store was an old jazz club, so it's like still has that old jazzy soul vibe, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like the store is, or I keep calling it the store, but the Mothership is the modern day store, I feel like, because because it
They
is
cut out the middle, man.
Yeah, but it was also that club. What's his name? He wrote the song. Stevie Ray Vaughan used to play there all the time.
Pride and Joy,
Yeah,
right?
Pride and Joy. So that used to be an old punk club too. So that is like you could feel it in those walls.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the rooms
fuck
are like crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun spot. I think it's a great club, and yeah, you could feel it. I mean, even the scene itself. Like I did 20 spots in one of the weeks I went. And I could feel it by the beginning and then to the end. And then when I came back to L.A. to the store, I did a set. And one of my friends even said it was like, you got to keep going back to Houston or Austin because like if that's what like you going to Austin back and forth is going to make you do, you just got to keep going. Because I was just like I was just in the groove. I was like better timing. I was just like on it, right? And then you could feel it when you're up a lot and you're like having fun and. Like we said, you saw people swing big there.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I was like, hey, I know everybody, this is a lot of comic talk, and like I know we don't do it, but I'm glad I'm doing it with my boy Frank. Like I want you guys to understand, because I know there's a lot of people that are thinking about doing comedy, that listen to this, and like I have a lot of cholos that are like, hey, Holmes, once I get off house arrest, I'm going to do open mic. I'm going to, and
I get those messages too a lot.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Hollywood had me a little lazy because like I get to do so many spots where people don't know my set, so I got comfortable doing my set. But when I showed up over there and I seen everybody doing new shit, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always done newer shit than I've done, but not like how I wanted to do it after I left there.
Yeah, it made you really think like, how often do I really sit down and write? How often do I really like edit? How often do I really like really do the job of stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it when I went I was like, oh fuck, I gotta like, and I felt myself cutting stuff naturally.
Yeah.
Like I felt myself taking words out, not going for the extra punch, because you could feel it like where you're
Hell
like,
yeah.
where you're like, oh, in LA, like, oh, LA, this gets a laugh because it's just a funny, silly thing. Whereas like this is like a comedy club, they're here for comedy. It's a good little tag, but it's not the best tag, and it's just it's easy, and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta like operate at a higher level.
I can't wait to go back to the Mothership, dog, and like I kind of want to like say people like, how did it feel up there? I'm not modest, but I have to be a believer, and in my head, whenever I go up at the Comedy Store, people are like, hey, Richard Pryor was on this stage.
Yeah.
Like one day fools are gonna say that about us when we're dead.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Specifically Mexicans, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be like, hey, dog, Georgia Frank right there.
Yeah,
Some hyena tried to rape them.
The only woman that's ever gone on stage when I've been on stage was a Mexican woman.
No way.
Yeah, it was like...
And it wasn't your family?
No, but it was an older aunt. She was like, you can't say this.
No
like,
way.
Definitely like...
Hold on, please tell us what happened.
Oh, it was like a week before the Chappelle thing, and I was like talking about just some Mexican family shit, right? And then I remember the lady said it sternly, like a mijo no kind of way. Like she was just like, no, she was trying to get me off stage because I was saying like just like not fun, offensive things.
How the fuck is it offensive?
It was just like just the jokes I was doing my Mexican mass shooter bit.
Okay,
so she was just like,
like we don't do that, we stab.
Yeah, she was like stop, and it was just so funny. Like she was like, it was like an aunt being like, you're embarrassing us kind of deal. It was so fucking funny, dude.
Wow.
She had like, they had to like get her off stage. It was so fucking funny, dude.
Wow, dog. She was like, you're making her people look like.
Yeah. I've only run into that once or twice, usually like a very drunk older Mexican lady.
Yeah, dude, when I first started comedy, homie, that's usually all I did was Mexican crowds.
Yeah. I had to... When I started doing, or I did those a little bit before I got into, when I moved to LA and tried to get in the club. And then after I was in the club for a while, I started doing Mexican rooms again. And it took me a while to get back and to like figure out how to do Mexican rooms again.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh shit, this is different.
Yeah, these fools are kind of like, what?
Yeah, I've had that. Like, yeah,
I used to have one of those.
When I did the ha-ha, I had crowds of them just staring at me.
Yeah, the ha-ha smells like it used to be a 24-hour fitness.
Oh my God, it does.
That fucking place right there. Bar Rescue needs to go over there and rip out the carpet, dog.
There's no way they're going to be able to fucking
how
save
much
that place.
curry or whatever. What's an Armenian food?
Turmeric, the spice, hilarious.
That shit right there. But you know what, though? It's a cool club. I'm not putting it down. But, like, when you go in there, dog, and I went in there coked out and mad because the fucking smell made the coke leave.
Oh, my God.
The coke was like, what the fuck?
It's not as bad as the Chateau. Have you been to the Chateau?
Where's that?
Oh, my. It's right across from the Ha-Ha. It's the Spike Club. An angry open micer opened it because he didn't like the Ha-Ha.
No way.
Yeah, he's the weirdest guy. Yeah. He has...
Is it booming, though?
No, I don't think it is. It's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
Would you open? You know what's crazy is like, we're dreamers, right?
Yeah.
I've always had a dream of opening up a club, but then I was like, how am I gonna do comedy?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be the guy that does comedy and owns a club. At best, I think
opening up for your homies.
Yeah, dude. At best, I would open up like a coffee shop and do like open mics all the time.
Yeah,
that's something I could totally see myself doing.
Yeah, like having like a panaderia with like some bomb juguitos and some like Mexican foods and shit.
Something like snacks, like easy, like line cooked shit. You know what I mean?
All right.
And then just open mic from fucking like 2 to 12.
Yeah, that'd be cool, dog.
Because open mics are more manageable.
Be like 100, like an 80-seater.
Yeah, or 40, 50, you know what I mean?
But you have to have a liquor license for the comedy later.
Yeah.
So it could be like a michelada margarita. I don't know how we're over here.
Damn,
it's hard, dog.
Dog, we're starting our own business, baby.
No, I'm down. No, like I've always wanted to have like a 120-seater, fancy, like Harlem Nights style nightclub.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like Cholo Chicano style.
One of my ideas for a special that I've always wanted to do was because of like how I am and like the juxtaposition of everything. I wanted to get like one of those style that I wanted my special to look like that, but it's just all cholos and Mexicans like in the audience, and just like make it look super old school, and that's what the special would be.
Yeah,
you know, like back in the day,
like Esperanza from America, mijo.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it? You know, it's crazy, dog. The fucking a lot of people put down the cholo culture, but it is influenced skateboarding, punk rock, goth. Like the Zoots, you got a Pendleton on right now, player.
The Zoot suits were fucking crazy cool looking too.
Yeah.
You saw those,
and it's a trip, dog. Because think about it. Hey, think about this. If you're wearing a suit, is that like
not the coolest feeling in the world?
Yeah, but like, people were mad at Chicanos for going, hey, don't fucking wear your suit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the whole thing. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Who told you to put a chain there and increase it and put a baggie over there?
Yeah, they would just always hate for no reason. Yeah, it was. At the time, like the craziest thing. I think it was like there was a button shortage or some shit. It was during the war, and they were like trying to get people to conserve buttons, and they were upset at Chicanos for having buttons on
hilarious.
Having so many buttons on their suits, and it's like that, and that's why they like did all the riots. Where it was like, that just seems like a ridiculous reason to like hate Mexicans, you know?
Yeah,
like an excuse where you're just like, oh, you just hated. Just say you hated Mexicans.
Huh? Like
we're doing this for buttons. You
why?
know?
I didn't even think about that shit.
Yeah, my great grandfather was in one. He remembers the Zoot Suit riots. Like
he got jumped and shit.
Yeah,
damn, that's crazy.
That's wild, right?
Yeah, I don't. That's like knowing a marcher.
Yeah, it is like knowing a marcher.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was some crazy shit for a lot of people. Like I'm not fully schooled on the riots, but it's pretty fucking crazy, dog. Like the Navy jumped us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, the military.
Yeah, like if you know, like.
Yeah, my mom was the kind of mom who, like, growing up, she would drill a lot of Mexican history into Mexican American history into my head. So, like, so there was, like, Operation Wetback that happened for a while, and it was literally just called Operation Wetback to scare Mexicans to going back into Mexico that were here illegally.
Like, anybody here got a sweaty back from work? We're taking you home,
100%,
bitch.
yeah. So they were saying that they were going to deport a bunch of people, and they didn't really follow through with it, but it was just the propaganda of the law being into effect scared enough people to go back. And then they also had my mom calls it the paper genocide, and it was where they would when they were like converting Native Americans into like American citizens and like breaking up their land and putting the kids with homes and stuff. they would give them new birth certificates or new names. So there was a lot of like kids that were like Native American who didn't know they were Native American.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how they would like get around paying a lot of Native American families.
You know
and
what
shit.
sucks too is being Native American and you don't have the name to back up
Yeah.
the
Or you
money
don't
you're
know.
supposed to get
Yeah.
from the fucking casinos right now.
100%. And you know what the crazy thing about that is too? I found out that say that you're two different Native American, you're Native American, but you're from two different tribes. If you have a kid together, that kid's considered half Native American because it's not of the same tribe. So the more that they, even if they're Native Americans and they keep breeding, like it still goes
money
less and
goes
less,
up.
so they
Wow.
can get less, so they can eventually stop paying.
So, but
everybody.
what if you start fucking someone from the tribe that's full? Do you get the blood back?
You still get the full. All right, I think it's like 75% or something. Yeah, it's something ridiculous. Like it's like they're desperately trying hard to not have to pay everyone back.
Me and you need to do our own podcast, dog, because we went from like choloism to like marching.
Dude, I know a bunch of random ass Mexican facts because my mom makes me like remember shit like this.
Yeah, no. See, my dad was the cholo. My mom was from Mexico, so
Okay.
she told me like other shit.
Oh, okay.
But she's where I get my comedy from. So she would be like, hey, because I would be like, I put Robert Zapata, not Robert. What was that fool's name? Emiliano.
Oh,
Zapata, whatever.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fucking high, dog.
The
fool that lost the battle, Emiliano
Yeah.
Zapata, and he had that fucking vest with the bullets right here. I remember putting that shit in my room and was like, "Hey man, that fool was a rapist, dude." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Man, my mom's friends used to tell us stories about it when that fool would come. That he fought the white people, he fought the gringos, but he had to refuel. So he would pull up to your fucking town and they would take your meat, take the guns, fuck the bitches, take the water, and go fight the white guy."
Jesus, it's like a fucked up Zorro. Fucking El Horo, dog.
Chorro. This fool fucks the shit out of you.
Yeah, but he fights all these white people, though. We love him.
But yeah, I mean, fuck, dog. I kind of grew up in a time or a place where like they taught it, but it was just like,
Yeah, I was too young to really understand or like
Yeah.
care, and I feel like an idiot now. Like I remember, I feel like my mom would always tell me, like I think so, like Cesar Chavez was really big in San Jose because I don't know if that's where it happened, but like that would like they drilled that history.
Well,
in us.
San Jose, Northern California is known for farming.
Yeah.
So that was like headquarters.
Yeah, that
You
was
know
like
what
a big
I'm saying?
thing with him. Yeah, I think like my dad's mom like marched with him or some shit, so it was like a big deal, and it was like a story everyone told.
You know, oh fuck, I get coked out sometimes.
And you would collect grapes? You're like, I feel like Cesar
And
Chavez,
then
dog.
so I get cooked out, and in my head I'm going, all right, what does my body need? It needs vitamins, and like, well, fruit has vitamins. And then I start eating the fruit, and then I always watch Fox News, and Fox News is like, fuck these motherfucking farmers. I'm like, I wonder if the farmers watch this and they rub their balls before they pick the fruit.
Yeah, man, isn't it? That's what I try to explain to everybody. Like,
Why are you fucking with the motherfucker that's giving you food?
yeah, no. It's like most of those companies like depend on migrant workers because of how much they pay, and when they get white people to do them, they complain and they want to know when the break is.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's natural.
yeah, it's also so tough to do that job.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I know, but like, see, like at the end of the day, the guy that owns a farm isn't always white.
No,
He's a
yeah.
Mexican or a
Yeah,
black
yeah.
dude as well.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey.
Mexicans do it faster.
and they're like, and like from what I heard now, some states they build houses for them to stay, so they know they don't leave. They're like, look, you guys can stay right here. You can raise your own little shit right here. Like, and like they let them stay on the land, and they wake up. They're like, why'd you guys paint the house and do the edges?
You know, it's always so funny whenever they complain about there not being enough like land for all these Mexicans to come through, and it's like, you ever drive to Phoenix and see all that desert like in between? I'm like, yo, it could just
They want that.
Oh yeah, we could have a Tatooine. Have you seen these people? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Oh,
they fucking
straight
they
up.
make Adobe shit all the time. Like this is
They're like,
yo.
hey, so we're that doing?
Yeah. Come on, dog. You know what I mean? You don't want to have a nice city to stop by on the way to Phoenix.
Yeah, for all the cholos out there, Tatooine is not a tattoo shop. It's a planet from Star Wars where Jabba the Hutt is gangster shit.
Yeah.
Like that's where they found Anakin, right? Right?
I don't know if it's Tatooine, but that's one of the
Tatooine, isn't that where they find Anakin? You guys don't know?
You're gonna have to look at.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
Hey, how do I know that shit? Hey, you know what I thought of, dog? Speaking of Star Wars shit, you know what cholo Star Wars is?
What?
Blood in, blood out.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, I went to 3 festivals this year.
How was it?
Homie, it was like seeing everybody that you were ever locked up with. But they're doing good now.
No,
Like,
that's
oh,
cool.
shit, fool. You don't rob Dollar Trees no more? And, hey, homie, it was very prideful. Cause, like,
did they sock check one of the guys? What's the
Yeah,
the guy who does?
Crucito.
Yeah. Did you
The
not
fool
know?
that-
Did you know what it was?
well, he had little socks. He's an older vato, you know?
He had little socks.
Fools Gone Wild is also, hey guys, I'm going to be hosting June 24th, Fools Gone Wild. It's me, Little Mr. E, Funk Freaks, Concrete, Jay Valentino, Cholo, Creeper Fit, right? That's how you say it. Stephen Oreo, Mike. Hey, dog, you gone to, hey, you want to come or what?
Yeah, no, I'm down. When is it?
June 24th.
Yeah, I'm down.
YouTube Theater.
Yeah. I got invited. I definitely want to come just to hang out and watch.
Please.
Absolutely, dude.
Please,
Yeah.
dog.
That shit was, going the last time was phenomenal. It was amazing.
Dog, you know what, dog? Don't write for it. But what if I just call you out?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
And I'm like, yo, this fool was at Home Depot and he had a sign that said, I roast for Feria. So,
that Orange County one was wild, dude. Like it was.
hey, explain it to these guys, dog, because, hey, homie.
It was like if my dad threw a party. You know what I mean? Like if my dad was like, what can I make? There was like lowriders. There was people on stilts. There was like
Cholos on stilts.
It was
And
wild.
the stilts were a long sock. He painted it white.
There was like it looked like so many different. It was like the
Creative cholos.
You know when Kang has different versions of himself through all the universes? That's what it felt like, but with cholos and my dad. You know what I mean? Like just different versions of a cholo version of my dad.
Yeah. You know, it's me and your dad are the same age.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see that.
Yeah, you know, the homie Little Mystery, he puts a lot of effort into this, dog. And this next one, June 24th, guy, there's only like 800 tickets left.
That's going to be wild.
And it's more than a month away.
Yeah.
So, you know, right now, cholos are waiting for their tias to let them borrow their credit cards. Now, whenever we do a Fools Gone Wild show, the show will sell out, and then there'll be like 300 homies waiting in line with money. And I ain't gonna lie, dog. One fool got me, goes, hey, George, $1,000, homie, just give me and my lady, and dog, I promised her. And I just told that fool, hey, just give me 200, player, because I want to do coke tonight. Keep the 8. For reals, homie, I go, look, the only way you can come with me is, my bad, I'm snitching on myself. I just told that fool, hey, dog, I have 2 of these extra wristbands. Because, you know, it was an older homie, and I could tell, like, his lady wanted to come see this show. Yeah. And then I seen them there, dog. They both brought shirts. They brought merch. Like, they were there for that. And you could tell, dog, that fool was going to go home to carne asada, some bomb pussy, waking up to good break. Like, when you fuck someone good, yeah. Hey, guys, speaking of fucking, we'll be right back. And we're back like a hood rat in the Cadillac waiting for the sizzag. George Press Stories is also brought to you by Gunther's, located in downtown Santana. Gunther's specializes in Pendletons, khakis, Ben Davis, 501s, Frisco Bands, Ben Davis. Hey, look, if you want to dress like a Chicano or like a bomb-ass construction worker, they got the Carhartt. Dude, they got vans. Like, go to Gunther's. It's located in downtown Santana. They got a store for Broadway. They got a store for Maine. And if you don't live in Orange County or L.A. or Riverside, and you're like, you know what? I live in Oklahoma, dog, but I like that Pendleton. Hit them up at Gunthers.com. Tell them George sent you. So we left off like kind of like on the whole topic of fruit,
yeah,
with like the jobs, and you know, I always feel like fuck, man. America is a country based on immigration, and of course, if you're a country where it's like, hey, go over there if you want better, there's going to be a lot of fools that want better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I always feel like it's fucked up that if you're Filipino, they'll let you come and be a nurse. Well, since they're Mexican, why don't you let them just be farmers? It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit them, and it'll be like a better process.
Yeah, they actually did a study where like it was like a big fruit and vegetable company. They wanted to switch to automation, and then they found out that for all the food that got damaged, like just the waste, because there's some percentage of waste, it was more than it was worth the cost of them just hiring people to do it by hand, because they were able to take care of the fruit and everything better. Like the product was fine by the time it hit the shelves, whereas automation, a lot more things like fuck up or it's not handled carefully.
Plus, you're like on terrain that's unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, like, have you seen that video that Fools Gone Wild posted?
No.
Where it's showing this Mexican in Florida and they're cutting grapes, and this motherfucker,
oh yeah,
he puts like the thing right here, and just walks like,
yeah,
and then the white people, she goes like this, takes her head off, swipe, puts it back on, cuts 1/8, throws it in, takes her head off again.
Have you ever worked in the fields or cut or did fruit shit?
In high school, I took horticulture, but like, no, I never. Did you do that shit?
My aunt owned a farm in Fallbrook, and every summer she would make me work on the farm instead of going out and have fun summers.
My mom owned a house in Fallbrook.
Oh,
she had avocados on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's off that Rainbow Street.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to fucking.
That's a dope city.
It was a nice place. A lot of that's where
high class.
Yeah, it's where the KKK would meet up.
Yeah.
My mom worked at that AutoZone. And then Metzger ended up hitting on her at that place.
No way.
Yep.
Kurt?
No, the one of the Grand Dragons of the KKK.
Oh, I thought you meant Kurt Metzger.
Not Kurt Metzger. Yeah. Actually, I think that's the guy's actual name is Kurt Metzger.
No way.
Yeah.
Fucking Kurt, you got some Mormon KKK, dog.
Yeah, dog. It was wild back then. But yeah, they used to do a lot of wild shit.
Yeah. You know, like, I look at it like this, like, fuck, dog. It's really gonna, like, why are we fucking up everything? Eggs are more expensive. Everything that, like, and look, I'm not choosing sides, everybody. This is just my cholo conspiracy because I'm hyped out right now. The Democrats are so down for the immigration, they say, but every job that an immigrant needs, they're fucking getting rid of.
Yeah.
Eggs. Oh, we're short on eggs. Fucking now fruit, now construction. Like, what's up, player?
The Democrats always feel like they've been the party to like promise minorities things and then be like, "I'm sorry, maybe next year, guys. Just keep giving us money." Whereas like
shit,
the Republicans, it just feels like it's like, "Oh yeah, that just doesn't feel right to my core." You know?
Yeah, the Republicans are like, "Look, we don't have enough budget money to make commercials. We're gonna help you guys, but we are just vote."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it could be worse, and then you're like, fuck.
They're like, hey,
either it could be worse, or here's hope, but not really.
Yeah, that's crazy shit. And fucking politics is so crazy to talk to people now. Like, I remember the first time I could vote was 1995.
Oh, so who was the first president
that I never voted?
Hilarious.
Yeah, I've never voted because it's never affected me. No president has ever been like, "Hey, George, you cannot be you."
Yeah.
You know, like I was born here, and I work.
Yeah.
So what's like if you? I broke the law. You got me.
Yeah.
But I still work.
Yeah.
And yeah, dog.
First person for president was Obama. That was the first one.
Yeah, you voted for Obama, player.
Yeah.
You was like, fuck.
Yeah. I was like, I think I was 18, and it was like, of course I'm not going to vote for the white guy. What are you, fucking crazy?
Yeah. Who was the Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at that time, my friend was like, 9/11 was an inside job. You know what I mean? He was the first. He was like the first guy that was like, nah, dog, it was us. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, you know, Obama was, from what I heard, Obama was the first president to win as far as like Obama had a Facebook, a MySpace.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
And Bush didn't have none of that shit. So like they internet hounded those fools. That was some gangster shit.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. Obama, yeah, bro.
But Obama never did. I mean,
Oh, he bombed a lot of people with airstrikes,
Yeah.
but it's also like, yeah, but how many people did we save? You know what I mean? Like,
look,
how many,
dog.
how many army lives?
Obama is a black man from Chicago. They get away with shooting people all the time.
That's why we hired him.
So he was like, homie, we gonna send these drones in. They ain't gonna know what hit them, player. Hey, is that a new bit?
That's good. Yeah.
That's a bit right there. Yeah. Hey, I like that. Yeah. You know what's a trip? Chicago, dog. That's like
They have tamales.
yeah?
Yeah, they have like Chicago, like, because I guess there's a good amount of Mexicans up there, and they have like Chicago style tamales or.
There's a lot of Puerto Ricans too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Puerto Ricans, oh wow, but like you notice that shit.
Well, I also didn't. It's I think that's probably just the ignorance of me and only growing up in the West Coast. But when I started traveling, and then you start to see like where Mexicans ended up and like who got out of where, and you know what I mean, to see where like you go to
There's
like
no reason for us to migrate from Mexico to
Yeah, I mean, if
New
it-
York. Like, that's a long coyote
yeah,
drive.
yeah, it's like San Diego
How
and
many
like Los
checkpoints
Angeles.
you want to go
Yeah, you don't have to hide too far deep. You know
You're
what I
just like, yo, let me get past San Clemente now.
mean? They're like the best way to hide. The best place to hide is in plain sight. You know?
Yeah, my dad was a coyote.
No way. Yeah, my grandfather helped give Mexicans jobs.
Oh shit!
Like, and would help them with visas, and the jobs would like not exist.
Wow.
He would just say that they were his employees and stuff.
That's dope, dog.
Yeah.
That's some dope shit.
Yeah, I think he was on the other. I think you worked in transportation. My grandfather worked in the like what happens when you land.
Registration.
Yeah, in the registration, dog. Yeah. That was actually so. There was. It's so funny. Like, my managers always like ask me like what kind of like not Mexican shows, but what kind of TV shows would you want to do? And I've always wanted to do like something very like Mexican. You know what I mean? But like better than the representations we've always seen, right?
Hell yeah.
And my grandfather would tell me the story, and it was one of the funniest fucking stories I ever heard. He was talking about when he was growing up and being like in his 20s and shit, working these odd jobs, being like an American, or like immigrating to America, right? Coming to America kind of style. Because when he got here, they like would airdrop pamphlets being like, come to America, we have jobs, get your visas, come help your neighbor build America. That's why he came, right? So he was in the military and stuff, so that's how he got his like papers and shit. And then like, but when he was here, he was saying that one of his best friends was this guy, because back in the day you could just cross the border, like you could just walk across the border.
Yeah.
And one of his best friends was there, and he would get kicked back and sent back all the time. So it's just the idea of a character who's like a recurring character in a show, but he's always getting kicked back and sent back to Mexico. And like every other episode he shows back up. Like it's just because that's what his life was. Like whenever the cops would come, he'd be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And he'd just like run away. And then he'd see him like a week later. And then he'd like, it was just so fucking ridiculous.
I think that's the scariest shit I've ever seen my people feel. Is like, I remember I met this fool and he was like, hey homie, do me a favor, like don't get pulled over, dog, because like I'll get deported.
Yeah, and you're like, holy
I'm
shit.
like, fool, they're not gonna take me. It's my car.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom tried to get me to marry a girl for a green card.
No way. Your
Yeah.
mom was that with
Yeah,
the
dude,
fucking Chicano movement.
She was like, "Listen, you need to marry this girl. It's she was hot too.
Yeah,
So
you know
like,
there's
it
a
was
movie
this
about
close,
that, right?
dude.
You know, there's a movie about
Is there?
that with Jimmy Smits. It's called Mi Familia.
Oh. Yeah, I almost did. She was fucking hot. But I was also like 19 at the time, and I was like, this could go south so quick. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's not the first time my mom tried to get me to marry young. But
Where did we get that from? Like, did we watch an Indian movie?
I don't know. I think my mom just had kids young, so she was just like, well, you're almost in your mid-20s. You got to hurry this shit up.
Is your dad your mom's only baby's dad?
No, she got another one. My stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you the oldest one of the
I'm
clique?
the oldest one out of all three.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you got two stepbrothers.
I got a little stepsister and then a stepbrother,
Okay.
and then I have my half sister. I have three half siblings.
Oh shit! Damn, player.
Yeah, my family fucks, dog. My mom and my dad were just going at it. Well, that was the thing. My dad was like the attractive athlete, the typical like high school like baseball player. He was the star baseball player,
Oh,
and my
yeah.
mom was like the hot like drug dealing burnout chick. You know what I mean?
No
Yeah,
way.
dude. Yeah, my mom like would fight everyone all the time and sell mushrooms and shit and party and like sneak out to. It was a whole thing, dude.
Damn, your mom was Burt Kreischer?
Yeah, dude. My mom was female Burt Kreischer, just fucking
Hi.
Angela Johnson if she didn't believe in God. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, she was wild, dude.
I don't think that girl has ever partied her life.
Hilarious. Yeah, my cousin tells a story about how she got sent to the principal's office, and the principal was talking about how like she didn't want to end up like the other students that like dropped out of school or like burnouts or all these people, and she was naming them. And she was like, "We had this one student, her name was Victoria, blah 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 blah." And my cousin goes, "Oh, that's my aunt." She was like, "She fight people all the time." Blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, that's my aunt." That's my
That's
aunt.
crazy. You know, I got 4 older brothers, and we're all a year apart. But like my mom had her tubes tied, so I'm 4 years apart from the youngest one of the 4 ahead of me. And I remember going to school, and they were just like, "Oh shit, we have another Perez brother in here."
Oh my god.
And I was different than those motherfuckers, dog. Yeah. So I just remember them always going, "You never had trouble from your older brothers." I was like, "Bitch, because my dad's home now." My dad was like crazy out there partying and shit. You have cats too, right?
3 of them.
Yeah?
Thor, Loki, and Honey.
What's her name?
Thor, Loki, and Honey.
Thor, Loki, and Honey.
Yeah, Thor and Loki were found a day apart. One of them was in an engine block, and the other one was in a tree.
What the fuck?
Yeah. They were one was found by like my friend was a comic. He said that like they were it was like next to their spot. There was like a mechanic shop, and there's like this Mexican guy, and he was just like, "I found this kitty," you know.
He's like, "Yo, this fool's by the alternator."
Yeah. I found this cat trying to steal catalytic converters. But yeah, and then they took care of it, and then the next day they texted. We adopted him first, and then they texted me back the next day, being like, "We found his brother."
No
So
way.
then
You
we were
gotta
like- we were
bring
like,
them
we gotta
together,
we gotta
dog.
get both of them.
You're like, "I wanted a brother."
Well, I told my wife, I was like, "We're getting one cat," and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then I told her, I was like, "We're getting 2 cats," and she was like, "No." And then like they're fucking assholes, but I love them to death. They scratch everything, but I still love them. I love them so much.
Today, you know, your pictures come up on memories.
Yeah.
A picture of her came up today. She was the runt, dog.
Oh no way. Yeah, I got a picture.
She wasn't gonna live, homie.
And then what she did?
Yeah, like I had to feed her with like a fucking. Check her out. She's the little one right there.
Oh my god.
I got 3 of the 4. That's baby right there, dog.
Oh, dude, when they're that small, it's so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think she was gonna live, dog. But I got a napkin. I would just dip it in milk, and then I would just get soft food and just always feed her. She'd put her head away from me, and then she'd come back, and I would just give it to her again. And then like a month later, dog, she was just like, "What's up, fool? I can eat myself." And it's a trip because she was distant from me. Like she treated me like a stripper treats a good customer. You know?
Hard to get.
Yeah, she would like, "I don't give a fuck if you fed me, bitch. You finger bang me."
I've never finger banged a stripper, but okay.
You never?
No, what I got jerked off by one when I was 18 in a Tijuana strip club, but it was very, very depressing. But
Why was it depressing?
Because the first club we went to was Hong Kong's, which is fucking sick, right? And then the second we went to was just this weird one. It was kind of like, and then she tried to jerk me off, and she wasn't like the most attractive. It just was like, it wasn't a good match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the next one I really liked, and she shoved her pussy in my face, and it was pretty sick. Yeah.
You were 18?
Yeah, no, this was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, no, it was 18. This was for my 18th birthday. Yeah.
And
They
at
wouldn't
that
let me-
time, you didn't
so-
know how many dicks were there already.
Yeah,
huh?
so my mom let me go with her coworkers who owned a hotel, or his family owned a hotel in Mexico. So when we went, they were just like, "You can't fuck him," and I was like, "Oh, come on!" And thank God, because I didn't want to lose my virginity in. I think I lost my virginity by then. Yeah, I didn't want like the 3rd or 4th person I ever to fuck be like some hooker in Mexico.
That would be dope. That would have improved your sex
I
game
know,
like a motherfucker.
But like, yeah, it was just yeah.
yeah.
It was terrible. So, which I guess was nice, but I got fucked up, and the next morning we got tacos at the end of this long like street, but it was like it was like a fucking movie. We woke up, we went to get tacos, and you had to walk through this full fucking flea market, and it was so dope and lively and just like tons of cool stuff everywhere. And then we got to this taco stand, and it was 3 tacos for $1. And I think it was like fucking
ridiculous
4
fire,
beers for
huh?
$5 or some shit like that.
And fire tacos.
Oh my
huh?
god, dude! I spent $30. We got like 2 buckets of beer. I got like fucking 25 tacos. Like it was. I ate so much food, but it was like the best trip I ever had.
Yeah, the first time I fucked a stripper, I was like 19 or 20, and it wasn't even a whorehouse. It was like a strip club.
Yeah.
And I was so dumb, I didn't know she was a whore.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, I didn't fuck her in Mexico. I fucked her like, I mean, I didn't fuck her at work. I fucked her when I came back to visit. She's like, hey, fool, I don't work today. Come down here. And I would fuck her in a park.
Holy shit.
For my car. And it got weird, dog.
Yeah.
I started liking her, and she's like, hey, don't try to make love to me, fool.
Don't try to make love to me.
She's like, hey, why you kissing me? And I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, I gotta pay extra? Come on.
Yeah, no, that's some weird. No, hey, dog, hookers fuck you. Honestly, maybe that's why I work at a strip club.
Well, strippers are always fun, you know. Like I remember the first strip club I went to. No, this was like so. It was my friend's 18th birthday. We took him to a strip club. Me, his dad, and another friend of ours. And we get there, and one of the I end up knowing one of the girls working. She was just like, "Oh my god, don't you remember me? We went to high school together." And I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, you were a grade." She was like, "You were a grade above me," and I was like, "Really?" Right? Because it's been like, it was like, you know,
This bitch had yearbooks of proof.
I was like, "I don't remember you," and she goes, she was like, "Really?" Oh, one sec, I'm up next dancing, and she was dancing, and like, it was. Now that I think about it, it's ridiculous. So I just remember my friend's dad's with us, and he was like, "You know her from high school?" And I go, "Yeah," and he's like, "Cool." And then like. She just shakes her fucking, yeah, it was insane. And then afterwards she goes, "You recognize me now?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." Yeah. And then she was like, "Do you want to dance?" And I was like, "Sure, dude." And so she gave me a lap dance. And the whole time we were just catching up. And I was like, I feel like I paid $60 to catch up with you. But this was the best way to catch up. Like, this was pretty sick. And then, yeah, she ended up saving up. She wanted to get a job where she could save up money because she wanted to open up her own bikini coffee shop. And she ended up doing it. She ended up like being the only stripper not doing crazy drugs or
caffeine
having a wild,
and coochie.
Yeah, having a wild boyfriend. But they ended up having to close down because
they were fucking the customers.
No, a lot of wives complained because they like would be sold out every day.
Yeah,
like, line out the drive-through door. It was crazy. And then she ended up dating, I think, Tiesto.
No way.
Yeah. I think I don't know what she's doing now.
She's like, I'm doing way better than you, Frank.
Yeah, dude, she's killing it, bro. But it was so fucking funny, just to like run into someone I went to high school with at a strip club. And I remember being like, "Oh shit, who else is here?" And I was like, "Do you run into anyone else from high school?" And she goes, "Yeah, Paige is here." And I turn around, and another girl that I went to high school with, it was at Cheetahs in San Diego. Another girl I went to high school with was there, and she was fine too. And then she was like, "I see our English teacher in here all the time." And I was like, "That's wild."
Yeah.
So she had graduated like a year ago at tops.
I have the fucked up shit. Like there's times when I DJ at the strip club, like girls that are 19 or 18 get hired because it's
yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, are you George Perez?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up on the DJ?" They're like, "No, my dad said you're a comedian. You guys went to school together." And I was like, "Who's your dad?" And then they show me, and I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, he drops me off. He wants to know if you'll come say hi." And I'm like, "Wow."
Yo, I got a great story. So I used to work at this restaurant called Barley and no, not Barley and Hops. It was by the Bucket in Santa Clara, I think, in San Jose, or kind of that area. And the bar manager was this guy. He's worked in like food and beverage his whole life, but he was like a scumbag dog. And he was telling us this story about how one time he was fucking this like lady he met at his job, right? She was like an older woman. She had kids. And he went back to her place, and he's like fucking this chick, right? and he like he fucking comes in and all this shit, and she's like, hey, just so you know, my daughter's gonna come. Like, my daughter might come home. She lives with us, so you know, just kind of like be quiet, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So he goes to use the restroom, and as he's using the restroom, he's like passing by the pictures, and in the picture, he sees the daughter, and he's like, holy shit, because he had fucked that chick like a couple months before in his car in the fucking parking lot of the place that he worked.
Wow.
Yeah, because the daughter was like in her 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't introduce my daughter to anybody. Yeah, it's a fucking crazy. And you know what's crazy is I had my kids young.
Yeah.
My oldest son is 27.
Oh, my God.
He brings over like 33, 35-year-old friends, and they're like, what the? That's your dad?
Yeah, same thing about you see my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, yeah. I remember there was a comic who...
Has your dad fuck your friends, dog?
So there has been some comics who've reached out to my dad who have been like,
Wow.
yeah. He's like, oh, I think you meet my son. She goes, no. She's like, I think I kind of like the way, but I know who you are. And my dad
Let
was
me
like,
get a
holy
guest
shit.
spot. He's like, I don't do comedy.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I can give you free. Yeah, my dad's like, hey, can you get this chick up on potluck? You know? What my dad will do is he'll show, he'll be at bars and he'll show them my like clips and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
of course, dog. He's like Bob from La Bamba.
yeah.
He's like,
And
that's
then-
my brother.
Yeah, and then like he'll call me and then like I'll talk to them and they'll be like drunk and like, you're so funny, and then my dad will be like, thanks, son, and then they'll like fuck him. Or he'll be like, can you send me some money for a lift? And I'm like, oh my God, and then like he'll just smashing some chick.
Yeah.
You know how uncomfortable it is to pay for your dad's ride home after you know he fucked?
I got to pay for my kids right home, man. Knowing they didn't fuck. Like what? She wouldn't take you home? Man?
To get that receipt, you're like, ugh, he's like 5 stars.
You know, I'm glad I grew up in a different era, dog. I used to ride my bike to girls' houses to fuck.
Yeah, I used to have a skateboard.
Yeah, like I would ride a bike. Like, hey, look, I'm driving 15 minutes for you, bitch.
There was a chick in I remember I was maybe 2 years out of high school. I was working at Starbucks, and I was working at Starbucks, and this chick that I had known, we had gone to high school together, and now we're in like kind of community college together. She was moving, and she looked at my friend, who was my manager at the Starbucks, and goes, "Hey, could Frank get off work?" And he was like, "Why?" And she was like, because I'm about to move and I want to fuck the shit out of him. And I was like, are you like, and back then I was adorable. You know what I mean? Like I was funny. I wasn't like smooth by any means.
Yeah,
but, like,
you were cute.
White women loved me.
Yeah, that's how you order an espresso.
Yeah. Like Hot Topic white women loved me. And
wow.
She was so hot. At
That's
the time
funny
for
as
like, you know what I mean?
fuck.
For like
Hot
white women.
Topic white
Yeah.
women.
Oh my God, I love them. The gauges. Anyways, and then like he was gonna give me the time off, but I had nowhere to go. I was like, I live at home. You know what I mean? Can't fuck you at my house.
Yeah, my dad's gonna want it.
No, I lived with my mom at the time, and let me tell you, she is a
wow.
cock block.
Now my mom would knock, like my mom was horrible to me in that. She would tell girls, like, knock on my door, be like, George, you can't play no more. You gotta go home. I was like, Mom, I'm not playing. But yo, man, we're gonna take a break, guys. We're gonna be right back. Take a shower. Brown power. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, George Press Stores is back for a third take. June 17th, my show is sold out at the Bellflower Comedy Club. It's called the Stand Up Comedy Club. It's a 8 o'clock show. Yo, if I get at least 30 people to hit me up in the DM, I'll do a second show.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a second. And then I'm pretty sure we'll get walk-ups. It's June 17th, the day before Father's Day. So look, hit me up. The first show sold out. I'm probably going to add a second show, and we're going to look for Frank's lung. What's that? Hey, you're sponsored by Puffco.
Yeah, this is the Wizard Pipe, and this is the Puffco Proxy.
That's the fucking that wizard because do some bomb spells. That's something like a Jedi would smoke.
Oh yeah, I feel fucking very powerful.
Huh?
Yeah, I watched all the Mandalorian episodes today, the full season.
You watched it all in one day?
Yeah, man, I fucking just powered through. I had to do laundry, so I was like, fuck it. I just powered through laundry. and
I
watched
waited
all the episodes.
every week, dog.
you?
Like I was one of those assholes.
Yeah, I'm glad I waited for the full season.
Yeah, I mean, I rewatch it at the end, but I just always want to be ahead if fools ask me shit.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, the Mandalorian's a trip
Yeah.
because it's like the Mandalorian that we first met wasn't even a Mandalorian. It was Boba Fett. He just had the suit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he was like Samoan.
Yeah. And it was crazy. I was just thinking about that because you see them all there and you're just like, oh, that's crazy. They really fleshed out this whole like religion and backstory for this guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They changed their shit, huh?
Yeah.
So you've seen it all.
Watched it all.
Hey, trippy, huh?
Yeah, it's also so funny to see the little Yoda guy as a puppet, like
He's
jump
about
up and down.
Yeah, like to me, the future is like, wow, he's gonna be the first Jedi Mandalorian.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that show, and a lot of shows now, they film them in front of huge, like, 100-foot 3D screens. So that's the background is all like, it's all just a big soundstage now.
Yeah.
And they use like huge, crazy computers to like animate the background and
You
shit.
think stand up will ever get like that? Or just like, hey,
Oh
dog.
man, I don't know. I think they actually did that when the coronavirus happened. They did like the Zoom thing, but it was like they did it to where it was like they had like so many people out on the screen. Someone was doing that for a little bit.
I remember Kevin Hart did in his living room with like 15
man,
people. I
no
was
one
like,
talks about that shit.
Stop that, dog.
That was
That fool
rough.
got me sick just by watching
Oh
it.
yeah. I think the only one that had a good one that came out
Chappelle.
of that, and Bo Burnham.
Who?
Bo Burnham.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did a special called Inside. It was pretty wild, and I watched it, and I was like, fuck. I was like, it's, I'm not a big white guy comic. No, he's like a very
No, just
avant-garde
sometimes
guy,
you can't relate to it.
Yeah, and but this one I was like, that's pretty good. It was pretty.
Yeah, because since COVID was affecting everybody,
Yeah.
we all could relate to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know?
Did you see Mulaney's new special?
No.
Oh, it's pretty good. Talks about like addiction and stuff. He was on one, dog. It's crazy.
I don't know.
You
Like,
know-
I want like when I see other comedians do coke jokes and then like I try to do coke with them, they always deny me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I'm like, motherfucker, you're not who you say you are.
Well, he has a full bit about like when he was like, because he talks about like really being addicted to coke and the crazy shit he was doing to like get money and stuff, and it's like,
He's
holy
rich.
shit. Yeah, exactly. He's got a great bit about it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I don't want to ruin it, but it's basically.
No, yeah. No, I'm not hating on him, but I'm just kind of like, look, homie.
You should watch it. I say
Let's
you
do
watch
a
it.
bump together, dog, and see how you act. For reals.
Yeah.
I say that about all that shit. Like, imagine being a UFC fighter, but then another fool was like, you want to go to the gym with me? You're like, nah. I only go to the gym when I go by myself. I'm like, nah, dog. We're like cokeheads. We got to stick together. But I'm not a cokehead. I'm like a coke shoulder.
Coke neck?
Yeah, I'm a coke neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, when I can't breathe, I'll hang out.
I don't do it, but it's always like funny because I always accidentally, it's like the one scene you can accidentally stumble in on. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you walk
They
into,
won't kick your ass if you walk in. Hey, shut the door, fool.
Yeah, exactly. Like you walk around stoners and it's like, hey, you know what I mean? You know you're stoners, but when you walk in and everyone's doing coke, you're like, oh shit. That happened to me. So my neighbor invited me over to his like 420 party. It was like 1 a.m. He was blasting music. He invited me over just because, he didn't want me to complain.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine. So I went over there and he was like, yeah, we're celebrating 420. I get in there. All 23-year-olds, all of them doing cocaine. I was the only one smoking weed.
You mean 423?
Yeah, it was, fuck, dude, it was rough. I was like, eee.
Yeah.
Everyone's hot. I'm just the weird neighbor that's fucking getting stoned. Yeah, I was like, I can't do this.
They're like, what's Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Is that a new car?
This girl was literally doing lines while talking about how she's got to go visit her family tomorrow in like Ohio. And I was just like, she was like, I'm just nervous about my
You
dad.
should have
'cause he's
got
so
me
judgy.
her number. Those are my favorite. Hey, dog, sometimes when you do coke with the right people, it's like a conversation and a conspiracy theory that you don't even know you're making up. Or like, I get a lot of my jokes from those nights. This is the fucked up part.
Those are your
is-
writing groups?
Yeah, like, hey, dog, I'll be all coked out, and then I'll notice I'm scared to smoke a cigarette outside, so I'll smoke it in my room with the window open, and that's when I go and I look in the mirror and I just start going, and then a joke comes out. It's weird.
Yeah.
But sometimes those jokes are like, nah, don't ever say that one. Yeah, it's been crazy, dog. Like to look at yourself and you're like, wow, you look like garbage player, but right now all these bitches want to bone you. This is some good coke, and it's like it's the kind of boning where you're like, hey, dude, can you guys stop, chill, hey, please leave your clothes on, like, dude, stop, like where it's like you're the one that's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You guys are being so
I
aggressive.
might have to call the cops on you bitches. Like, wouldn't that be some weird shit? Like, imagine someone looked up a report, they're like, hey, homie, you called the cops on 3 strippers that wanted to fuck you?
Yeah, man, they were getting handsy.
Yeah, they fucking punched my cat. Yeah, but you know what? It's good, brother. It's not a. It's like, you know.
What's the saddest thing you've heard from a stripper?
Oh my God!
Hold on,
I'll never forget this.
Hold on, I got one. It's not sad, but I remember I was in, I think South Carolina with Pauly Shore, and we were at a strip club, and I always end up just talking to strippers, and I'm smoking weed with one of them, and one of them was talking to me, and she was like built, like, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you play like volleyball in high school? She's like, yeah. She was like, I graduated a year ago. I was like the best volleyball player. And when she would strip, she was like doing legit like acrobatic shit.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
gymnastics.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was like she was fucking like doing it one armed, like just crazy fucking shit. And I was like, damn, that's wild. I was like, it was a small town. I was like, do you run into people you know? She goes, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. She goes, I run into my friends' dads a lot. And I was like, that's terrible.
Yeah, but it's kind of like they're hanging out where they know that fool's been hanging out there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's some fucking crazy shit. Nah, man. I'll never forget this story. One of the most sad stories a stripper ever told me. And she was just like, she came into work beautiful, dog. And she had like a little black eye, but didn't. Like, it was healing. It was like the 5th day right here. She was fine. She wore glasses. And like, we hired her that day. And she came to work, and she started getting dances with fools, and then she tried to get close to me. She's like, hey, man, so like, hey, I'm new here. I'm like, yeah, I know you're new. She's like, how long you been here? I've been here for 7 years. And she's like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, nah. She's like, well, what are you doing after work? And I was like not playing music, eating, chilling, try to go chill. She was like, well, my parents died, and then my uncle had custody of me, and this fool used to prostitute me out to all his friends. She's like, and like I ran away and shit. Like, they fell asleep, and I just jammed out the trailer. And I was like, how long ago? She's like, I'm on my 9th month. She's like, I started, you know what I mean? She's like, I was sick of staying at fools' houses and letting them fuck me. I was just like, what the fuck? She's like, can I stay at your house? And I was like, dude, I'm just like, sorry, but like, and I ain't gonna lie, fool, an older like man that looked like her came and picked her up. It was her uncle, dog. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? But at the end of the day, you know what I thought? That motherfucker was waiting in the parking lot for her. He would have followed me to my pad and brought more trouble to me. It's kind of like, I tell people that, like, I know I can read a woman. I can be like, oh, man, this is going to be problems.
Yeah.
This bitch still hasn't, like, there's fools that will beat me up for this hyena.
Yeah.
Because some girls don't give a fuck. They're like, yo, man, like, I mess with this fool. That's all crazy, but, like, he can't control me. You're like, bitch, you going to fuck me up.
Yeah. He's got guns.
Yeah, not even that. I would rather get shot than get beat the fuck up. Like, imagine if I got beat up on Instagram and shit, and I had to use it as my promo reel.
Oh, my God. Did you ever see that video of the girl on the bus stop where she was, like, claiming, like,
oh, my God, yeah.
And she was like, oh,
She's
you don't know Psycho or whatever?
Yeah, you ain't hood.
You ain't hood. You're banging it right. And then she just gets cracked in the jaw. Bro, that I could not stop watching that video.
That's my shit.
It was wild, dude.
Yeah. I've done that to fools before. I remember being like 17 and shit, and I see another gangster, and then like this fool, I would be like, if you're smaller than me and I don't know you, I'm not gonna fucking go out of my way to punk you. But this fool fucking see me walk by and he threw up his hood, and I just walked up and said, "Where the fuck you from?" And he said, I was just like, "Bang, dog." And then I ended up later finding out we get along with these fools, but I just pulled it off where I was like, yo, man, the homie disrespected me and shit. Like, the only way I got away with it is because it was in our area. It was in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But if I would have done it over there, forget about it. I've never been a bully, dog, but I've always been that fool that's like, oh, shit, you want to speak about it? All right. Bink. And sometimes, dog, being a comic and being a cholo is hard because when I make fun of another fool, they don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Especially they're like, homie, you had to set up in a punchline to bag on me?
Yeah, you tried, you wrote. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah.
You got Cliff Notes, eh?
Yeah. Where it's like it's almost too well written and well done that they're insulted at like they're like I don't know what I'm mad at, but that really hurt.
So for a new roaster, you remember that we're speaking about writing, like
Sorry, before you run that, I saw Pauly Shore make fun of a dude once,
Uh-huh.
and the guy was like, and the wife was dying laughing, everybody was dying laughing, he was like, nah. And then I remember he was like, he waited in line to tell Pauly he'll see him outside after the show, and then
was he Paulie's age at least or older?
no, he was like a fat Mexican guy, and like we're like in the bar. And then Pauly was like, all right, we got to get out of here. And I was like, all right. And I'm in the car. And I was like, why? And he's like, because that guy's in the car, like, following us. I was like, oh, shit. And he, like, pulled up out behind the bar. And he was in the car waiting for Pauly.
Yeah,
like,
dog.
Damn, dog. And it wasn't even, like, a crazy thing he said to him. Well, I think he said that his wife pegged him. And she said, yeah, he does. And then I don't know if it was real. But if
has
it
to
was,
be.
he was fucking mad.
Yeah. I think I would get mad if my wife was fucking me and I was like, it has to be a secret, bitch. And then she leaked it out. And I was like, man, Paulie.
I'd kill her, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it's homophobic, but I would never let nobody bone me in my ass. Maybe if like a bear had me like down and shit, and he was like,
He was like, I'm either going to kill you and maul you, or you got to let me put it in you. And he was like,
imagine getting raped by a grizzly bear, dog.
oh my God. It was
Like,
probably
say
so
you're-
wet and smelly.
Say like he goes to the tent and he scratches your back and then like it rips your underwear off, dog. And then you're like scared. You're like, and then he slips and falls. And then his grizzly dick, because of the mud, just hits your asshole full. And you're like,
It's like The Revenant mixed with fucking, oh God, what's the movie where they fucking rape the Sui, that movie? Deliverance.
okay.
Do you ever watch Deliverance?
No.
You've never seen Deliverance?
No.
Oh, it's one of the roughest movies. It's basically about like these guys going hiking and camping, and they run into like rednecks who live out in the woods.
And
Then one of them like rapes him in front of his friends and is like, scream like a pig. And he's like, Sui. It's a whole fucked up thing.
This fool raped their
Oh
homie.
yeah, in front of it. It's pretty crazy. And then
That's
I
some
think
cold shit. I would have
Yeah.
beat your ass if you're my friend. Like, hey, player, you just there's 7 of you.
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. No, but it's different when it's a bear.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. What do you think the worst animal it is to get like raped by? Bears definitely one.
Bear.
Elephants.
Oh, a
for sure.
fucking silverback.
Oh my God,
That
Jesus
shit
Christ.
would rip me. A silverback can
Aye.
rip you, player.
Well, you know, most zoos, especially for the gorillas enclosures, that's all just like a guess to keep them in. Like those guys escape all the time because it's like they're just
smart.
They're deterrents. They don't know if they can actually keep them in because they don't know how strong they are, right?
Yeah.
Because they can't like measure it, right?
Yeah.
They just kind of guess. But there was like videos of like them getting out of like the Pittsburgh Zoo and shit all the time, and there was like a great picture of like one that got out and he's just sitting at a bus stop. And it's just like this fucking gorilla just chilling at a bus stop, and it's like ridiculous. And there's like eyewitness statements of people being like, "I thought it was a dude in a suit," because it was so like out of place and surreal. They thought it was fake.
You know what that thing would do to you, player?
Oh, absolutely rip you
yeah,
apart.
that's good. But you know what? If it fucked me and I didn't die, I don't know where I came with that one. But you know what though? It'd be a good book.
Okay. What would you call it?
Congo Bongos. I would call it was that Mighty Hohei instead of Mighty Joe?
Yeah.
Mighty GP. I don't know.
Jesus.
I'd be some crazy shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd make it like a love story. Like, oh, I got raped by this silverback. I was doing it. They did a Chicano Comedy Festival in South Africa. You know,
Oh
we
my
went.
God. Yeah. Was that famous lady who went and lived with the Gorillas in the Mist?
Oh, that's Sigourney Weaver, player, right?
Yeah, but she played the actual person. Jane Goodall. Yeah.
Hey, was I wrong though?
No, yeah.
That's
but
the Cholo
Sigourney
answer.
But also Sigourney Weaver's still so hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would you fuck her? Was she
Of course. She's still.
She was in Avatar, right?
Yeah, and she was in. She was also in Ripley in Aliens.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
She's
I
always
don't
been
know.
hot.
She's also in Copycat,
Yep.
where that fool's like,
Yeah.
I want your panties.
Hilarious. Also, what was True Lies.
Oh yeah, well she plays she's with Arnold. She played. Damn, this motherfucker has her IDMB. Is that how you say it?
No, that's not her. But what's that actress?
That's Courtney something.
No.
She's in 48 Hours.
Yeah, but she was.
She's in Trading Places.
Oh yeah. But she's like, she has to do that weird strip dance, and you're just like, oh, okay.
She killed.
Yeah,
it,
you're like,
dog.
all right. I don't know. I think I was like a teenager. I was like, I don't know what the fuck the plot of this movie is, but I love it.
Jamie Lee Curtis. And you know what's crazy about that? Like, since I worked at a strip club for 20 years, I've seen like the best of the best. And when I seen Jamie Lee Curtis do it, I was like, oh, this bitch is a freak.
How many? There's always one fat chick at the strip club, right? Because that is a type.
But no, like, it matters though, player.
Yeah.
Like, she has to have game and customers. But
Oh no! Every strip club I've ever been to has always had that one thick bitch. And she,
Like,
let
what
me
do you
tell
consider
she's
fat, though?
always busy.
Yeah.
like thick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's the big
like,
one.
hey, homie, we had this chick at the club that was 280.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
and this
big,
bitch
big.
had pole work.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's some big women I've seen who, like, let me tell you, there's always a market for a big woman.
Yeah, that's
Like,
those
yeah.
little Mexicans come in, dog. I can't. Not for like, if you're I'm 220. Like, I 280?
Yeah, I need a bitch built like me. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. Like, if my underwear are too tight on you,
Oh,
there's a problem. I don't know though, man. That's just my preference. Like 280 is too much, player. But this chick right here, dog,
when
I hated her.
When I was in my my 20s, this is before I was married, my friends would, when I worked at a bar, my friends would call me the 400-pound club because I had a threesome with two chicks that were over together 400 pounds.
Oh wow, that was some fucking.
It was pretty thick.
Yeah, that was a raw corn dog.
Yeah, dog. It was rough.
Back to this fat chick, dog. I didn't hate her, but I was just more like, look, you're playing like she thought she was a stripper. And she thought like I was a customer. She'd be like, hey, she'd be like, try to touch my face. Hey, can you put this? I was like, hey, bitch, don't ever touch my face.
Twinkie fingers and shit.
No, she was jacking fools off. 'Cause they're the dirty of the dirty, dog.
Yeah.
And like, she would always be like, hey, can I go up? I got people that want to see me. And I was like, dude.
What was her song?
Oh, she had bomb shit. That's what pissed me off. She danced to like some sex. Like, she was a stripper that was fat but looked up like, all right, what's the most popular song right now? And then she would look at the routines and study them at home and just kind of work like a big old bitch and just be like, one hand spinning out. Like, motherfuckers are like, you know, it was like an act. And I was like, hey, I'm not trying to headline you here. Like, I got other girls that are fine, that get dance. And, like, it was weird, homie, because some fools would complain about her and shit.
Like what? Because
They're like, hey, homie, she's too rough. Like, fools would be like, she jacks you off hard, and it made me bleed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You imagine the strength you have to hold up 280.
Yeah. And that's the, you know what I mean? That's the thing is, like, you know, it's not, there's a, like, you can pull too hard. You can be too rough.
I've been pulled too hard.
Yeah, I've been pulled too, you know, where you're like, hey,
Hey.
Yeah, this isn't fun.
Yeah, like, hey, when it's dry, player.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, hey, come on, spit on it. Come on, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
bitch, I just played soccer.
Just go, yeah.
I've never, you know what's crazy? I think about it. After high school, I used to bone this chick after football practice. But like, I would at least. No, we had to because like she was on the drill team, like she was on color guard or something, and she had a car. And then back then there was like a parking lot for the football players and like the squads, and she would just be like, "Hey, I only got half an hour, so just change." Like I would be out of my girdle. I wouldn't fuck her like my girdle with my pants on. Like I remember I would just go dog and get like a fucking. Back then, fool, they had the things like that, and it just come roll, and I put like water on it, get myself, and go in there, and I would eat some dirty ass practice pussy, dog, some old ass color guard 2 hour sweat, flag juice in there.
Oh yeah.
I miss high school. You just had like no shame to get it, but you did like in a certain class.
Yeah, I didn't get it a lot in high school. I think I got it once in high school.
Oh, I
and then
got
it wasn't
it.
until afterwards that I was like, oh, okay, this is how it works.
I got it like about. I got a lot because it was, when I was 17, I already belonged to a gang. So like we would go to other parties and it'd just be like, "Hey, that girl wants to bone you." I'm like, "Fuck, all right." Like I was surprised I didn't get the Eazy-E shit, dog.
Yeah.
We were just dumb young kids that were like, "Hey, this is you want to feel some fucking
I asked
varsity
my dad
dick?"
if he ever had any STDs, and he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I've had a couple
he's like, I've
STDs,
got a
dog.
few, yeah.
But a pill, some fucking.
Then you got a shot for it and stuff.
Yeah, I never got shit that's like. I remember going to Planned Parenthood and they're just like, "Oh yeah, hey, drink this, you'll be good. Just don't have sex for 2 days." And I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna like go and contaminate it." Kind of feel bad, but hey, that's some shit. That's a whole other story about like, why are we the first generation to be dying? Like, you guys made this shit stronger. Like, what happened to just normal? I got to take a shot.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, fool, you got to take a pill every day.
Yeah, for a while. It's all in the money, dog. It's not the cure.
I'm fucking stoned.
You are fucking high. Hell yeah, dog.
I'm high. I kind of want to like fucking.
Anything you want to cover?
What's up? What's coming up, brother? You're going to be back in Austin for Roast Battle.
Yeah,
again.
the 26th through the 29th, I'll be back in Austin for Roast Battle and at the Mothership, probably doing spots around town. I have a cool podcast called Peaked on YouTube, and then I'm at the store all the time.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I got to do your podcast. You do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday day. Let's
Yep.
lock it in and fucking.
I got
fucking
him.
stoned. Are you stoned? Look at my cat. My cat's fucking high, dog. She's over there chilling like a villain. Yo, guys, June 24th, I'm going to be at the YouTube Theater. That's in Inglewood at the SoFi Stadium, YouTube Theater. June 17th, the show sold out, but I find out tomorrow if they want to add a second show. It's the day before Father's Day. So come out, dog. If you want your mom to get hooked up before she goes home to your dad, bring her to the show.
Hell yeah.
Right? It's always a pleasure having
Dude,
you
thank
on,
you so
Doggy
much,
Dog.
man. So much fun.
And fucking, this is George Press Stories, episode 317. With that being said, take a shower at Brown Power. Late.
George Perez story.